Hello, my name is Black Up and this is a video, I guess. So, just quick information, I watch a lot of Cinemasins, and obviously when you start on that path, you start thinking, hey, maybe there's someone out there that does Cinemasins. And so I started to watch Cinemasins, and then you get a little bit disinterested in that, and you're like, well, maybe if there's Cinemasins, then there's got to be people out there that are sinning Cinemasins. And then I come across people like Bob's videos and Cinemasins and the Birdman's videos, who happen to be quite good. Specifically the Birdman's intros, you know, well done, A1 intros out there. But in my disillusionment of watching all of these things, I was like, well, hey guys, none of you've done Rampage. And that's a movie that I quite enjoyed, and I'd kind of like to see you guys sin the sin video that Jeremy and his team sin, but none of you have. So anyway, yeah, here I am to sin the sins video that Jeremy sinned, because yeah, obviously I'm not gonna pretend like I have the time and effort to do high-class editing. We're just gonna roll right over and into it with Jeremy said.
Reading? Lots of f***ing reading. Like Blade Runner levels of reading.
Yes, and?
Jesus Christ, you mean that even though that tiny-ass escape pod exploded, they made these canisters to be impervious to re-entry?
Yeah, they even say so in the movie.
Is this seriously all that divides the gorillas from the grizzly bears? Like, couldn't either species figure out how to lift an easily movable lever to open the door? How has this confrontation not happened before, even by accident?
That's an assumption that you have made. Like, all they've said is that George has broken into the bear enclosure. You're making the assumption that they are right next to each other. You're making the assumption that the part that the two humans walked in through is the part that the gorilla could get through. Like, my assumption is, yes, I know I'm also making an assumption, but because it looks like a corridor from what I can see, my assumption seems more founded in fact than yours. My assumption is that the facility is built kind of like, you know, those mental facilities or those prisons, you know, the ones with the corridors on the inside that go through and around that allow you to, you know, be hidden and go through places that don't, like in my workplace, there are places that the public cannot get to, but I as a staff member can. Just causing shortcuts that you wouldn't believe. Anyway.
This implies you are doing them in space because they are illegal, and that's an incredibly stupid reason to spend tens of billions of dollars on a space station.
No, it's not. What law enforcement do you know in space? Unless they got the Space Force up in this universe, and well, shame on you.
He's such a badass. He literally drives with an unholstered handgun in his right hand. I mean, why do you even need to put scars on his arm and hand at that point? Scars schmars. He was driving with a gun in his hand.
I'm not saying this because of what you said. I'm actually saying this because at the end of this clip, like even the one that you showed, that he was handed a gun. That same gun he proceeded to get onto the helicopter with and hand away. What was the point of handing him the gun? Unlike everything else that he was handed, he didn't put it on. He just gave it away. It's an annoying sin that you didn't get to, and I'm just pointing it out.
I wonder what this person is studying. I mean, damn, this lady's got genetics books lying literally all over her apartment.
I mean, people in the profession that they are professional in tend to have books about that profession around their place. I mean, doctors have medical journals, lawyers have law books, and I assume that geneticists would have genetic books. Yeah.
That is a lot of exposition crammed into a local news broadcast that would definitely be more focused on the giant space station explosions.
It was, but as you just said, it was local news. Like, the whole story, except for the last sentence, was about the space station. Whereas then, since it is, as you said, local news, they tried to link it to something that happened around their local area. Like, it makes sense from a perspective of someone from a local news journalism. It makes sense.
Extremely intelligent geneticist immediately turns to Wikipedia to tell Davis about genetic editing because it's got pictures of sharks and
And?
So not only are they using the f***ing Sears Tower as a transmitter to call the Monstars out, they were able to get that done in one night?
Yes. Money motivates, man.
So let's talk about the evil lady's plan. She was engineering genetically modified super creatures in space, but just in case that station exploded and the serum somehow made it back to Earth and came in direct contact with animals that then became super animals, they pre-programmed the serum to create a reaction in the eventual possible super animals so that a low-frequency radio signal would draw them to it like the Pied Piper's flute. And now she's going to broadcast that signal from the top of the Sears Tower? Off, Willis Stans, to draw the super animals to the top of the Sears Tower? Do I have that right?
No, you didn't. This is the specific thing that made me want to write this video. Like her plan, I mean, yes, you are right. Her plan is to draw these creatures to the tower. But that is where everything else in that scene disappears. Like, the reason is stated in the film. Like, she wants the gorilla and the wolf to kill each other. Or failing that, one of them kill the other, and then the military can kill that one. And then she can use the formula that's in the DNA of that creature to make millions. Like, it works. The thing worked. These creatures worked. They were bigger when the thing worked. Also, with the subwave frequency or whatever sound it was that allows the creatures, that was built into the formula, the serum. It was built into their DNA. It was something built in for just in case this procedure works, that we can control these creatures. So that sin is just incorrect.
You know, these monsters have had no issue taking down entire buildings and wrecking all kinds of Why the hell is it taking so long for them to break off the antenna of the tower?
But what buildings? Yes, I'll admit they have caused a heckin' amount of damage, and they may have destroyed a bridge or two, but they definitely have not toppled any buildings. So them struggling with a tower made of what I can only assume would be high quality metal seems a bit realistic.
Again, the movie is playing at the idea that George might die. It's offensive, really. Read your own f***ing script. He regenerates.
So George is taking Michael like he is the one who's pretending that he is going to die. Like, okay, yes, someone in the real world did make that decision, but it's still within the realms of the film. Like, George is a douche. That has been well established throughout this. So, yeah, you know, that. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the video. My name has been Black Cat. This has been Anything We Want, and we will see you tomorrow. If you liked the video, please subscribe. If you didn't like the video, please subscribe and then unsubscribe. If you liked the video, click like. If you didn't like the video, please click like and then I don't know. My friend told me that my outro was boring and crap and that I should stop it. And so this is what he gets. You're welcome. Blame Jack Hines. He lives at 22.